Hello, everyone. Welcome to the video for Chapter 6, Making War in Republican Governments. I am so excited to be making this video on a Sunday night. I dressed up for the video. I was out at a bonfire eating, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6 s'mores. So I am sugared up and ready to go and really excited. Just going to make these videos short and sweet, and we'll see where they go. Starting with the intro video for Chapter 6. Just so you know, when we talk about Republican governments, we're not talking about the political party. The Republican political party, as we know it, does not exist until the mid-1800s. This is Republican as in like representative governments. So now that we've got that out of the way, let's rock and roll. The first slide has nothing to do with anything you'll read in your book. This is far better. This is top secret knowledge that you'll only find in this video. Looking at an acronym, METT-T. Yes, METT-T. There are 3 consecutive T's in the acronym METT-T. The reason why we're looking at this acronym is because this is a wonderful way to determine who is going to win a war. And you will see that using METT-T and answering the questions presented there, why the colonists were able to defeat a much, much stronger, wealthier, more disciplined, better trained, larger British army in the American Revolution. So let's get to it. Mission. Who has the stronger mission? Obviously, the American colonists were fighting for independence, and the British soldiers were being put on boats to sail across the Atlantic Ocean and being told, like, hey, you have to stop these guys from being independent. I think you could convince me, if I was a much younger man, to fight for my independence. Therefore, yeah, anyway, the American colonist mission was far stronger. If I cared, I would just edit that out, but that little brain fart, but I'm not going to. Enemy, how well do you know your enemy? Another huge advantage for the American colonists here. The American colonists were British. Many of them had fought with the British in the French and Indian War. If anybody knew the British as well as the British, it was the American colonists. However, the British, on the other hand, didn't really know the American colonists. To be fair, maybe the American colonists didn't really know themselves very well, but that's neither here nor there. So another advantage there for the American colonists, a stronger mission, fighting for their independence, and they knew their enemy better. Time. Who is favored in a prolonged war? This is a weird one because in this case, it would definitely favor the colonists. Why, you might ask? The British did not, the colonists did not have to win the American Revolution. They simply had to not give up. They had declared their independence. They were an independent country. The British job was to force the American colonists to no longer be independent. And so the British were looking for the first round knockout punch. The Americans were looking for a prolonged war that they could keep an army in the field and maintain their independence, which ultimately we'll talk a little bit about how the Americans don't win the American Revolution. They just don't ever lose it. So terrain, who's more familiar with the terrain? Obviously, it's being fought in our own backyard, so therefore we were more familiar with the terrain. So advantage, American colonists. We have a standard hyphen because it's an acronym, so you can't spell it with 3 consecutive T's. Troops available. Who has more troops available? Obviously, the British Army. This is the one thing that would have definitely favored them. They had more troops available. However, you have to remember that many of their troops were not in America. So even though this should have really favored them, it didn't favor them as much as you would probably think. So using the acronym METT-T, you can look through and see why the American colonists were successful and prevailed in the American Revolution. See you soon for the next video.